Welcome to the Kentucky Bourbon Traveler. I'm Ken. Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't stopped by before, we independently cover only great bourbons and the distilleries that make them. Today we're visiting Old Forester and Woodford Reserve's parent company, Brown-Forman sites, to show you where much of their great bourbon comes from. These great bourbons have one thing in common: master distiller Chris Morris. Great master distillers have a habit of keeping great bourbon sold off the shelf year after year. Stopping by Old Forester's downtown Whiskey Road tourist distillery, you wonder how a few barrels a day of production can provide so much great variety and quantity of Old Forester bourbons. These racks of barrels, which don't have the extremes of Kentucky heat and cold, sure aren't adding much to the Old Forester bottles on the shelf. Out at Woodford Reserve's distillery, which in 1980s was reestablished by Old Forester's parent company, Brown-Forman, gives another Forester product, Woodford Reserve, an air of exclusivity. And it's just good advertising located in the middle of racehorse country. Woodford's pot stills are putting out some great product too, but not enough. Woodford blends its great whiskey too with Brown-Forman Forester distillate. Woodford and Forester share the same distilling source. It's Brown-Forman's whiskey, made in Louisville's the Shively neighborhood. From the 1800s, distilleries were located in the downtown Louisville, Kentucky, Ohio River waterfront to float that bourbon down to trading as far as New Orleans, Louisiana. The Shively area has been used by distilleries for over 100 years for making and storing the bourbon. Shively neighborhood is south of the waterfront, and it used to be in deep woods in the country, but as time went on, homes like these, built in the 1950s, ended up with a backyard view of the distilleries. I would sure think twice about making a barbecue in that backyard, since there's quite a bit of explosive power in a barrel of bourbon. Early Times was bought by Brown-Forman as well in the 1930s and was used in their production. Where's all that Brown-Forman and Forester whiskey coming from? These large brick rickhouses in Shively are where Forester ages much of their products. Brick warehouses such as this with climate control can do the same thing that E.H. Taylor did with his heating of the 1800s rickhouses, making more hot-cold seasons a year, making the bourbon go in and out of the oak. This matures bourbon with as many seasons a year as you want. Forester's parent company makes their own barrels too, which allows them to make subtle differences in its Forester brands, toasting and charring barrels differently for a different taste on the same distillate. Today we're profiling Brown-Forman's Old Forester 95 proof Statesman bourbon. This isn't as common on the shelf as the 1920 and a lot of the other Forester variations. I picked this one up for $55 at our local Louisville grocery store, liquor store. Statesman cost about 2.5 times more than many bargain bourbons here in Louisville. In contrast, Old Forester's delicious budget signature 100 bourbon is $20. Statesman has a sweet, buttery, caramel vanilla taste with a hint of oak. Nothing heavy on the oak side, more just sweet and fruity. Statesman tastes great, and it tastes a lot like Forester 1910 if you've got a chance to get a hold of a bottle, without the heavy oak taste that comes with the 1910. This bourbon's a treat. Its finish is light and leaves the most wonderful cherry caramel taste with not a hint of harshness or burn. This 95 proof version is aged at least 4 years And it's not age stated on the bottle, but its color and its taste, to me, suggest an 8-year bourbon. According to Foreman, tour guides, and corporate disclosures, Forester brands all share the same grain ingredients or mash bill, which is 72% corn from either Kentucky or Indiana, 18% German Bavarian rye, and 10% barley from the Northeast United States. The Forester company says it uses number 3 charred barrels for all of its products. Well, next up, Christiana is showing everyone how to make Bourbon Brie Appetizer. So good, you might want to try it the next time you want something between different bourbon tastings. And with shrimp, even better.
Hi, I'm Christiane, originally from Würzburg, Germany, and today we're making a Bourbon Brie Appetizer. And what you need, you have to get you a brie in the local grocery store, which you can find in a deli, and it's a soft French cheese. Now we take the brie out of its box, lay it in a dish which you can put in the oven. Then now we have to slice a couple of little slices on the rim, just a little bit, all the way around. Then a couple slices on top. Then we have pecans, and the best way to do them, not to put them in a chopper, just kind of break them with your hand, because you want some bigger pieces of pecans on top of your cheese. So all I do is put them in a baggie, and I just keep on breaking them until I'm got a couple broken up pecans. Then we're gonna put them in a bowl. I have brown sugar, bourbon, of course, of your choice, and then some melted butter. So all we do is mix it all together now. Mix all the ingredients together so they're nicely covered and soaked. And then we're gonna pour our pecans on top of the cheese. After you've done all that, then we're gonna put it in a 350 preheated oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. And some baguette with it, and it's great with bourbon tasting or cocktail party or dinner. Enjoy.
Lucky bourbon traveler.